Wife Life, written and voiced by Claire Frank. I loved going to school. It was my own space, time to zone out, breathe, relax. Don't get me wrong, that sounds like my home life was horrible, and it's not, it wasn't. My parents are nice people, but that doesn't mean they didn't put a lot of pressure on my shoulders. You see, I'm the only girl out of 4 boys, which sucks. There's extra eyes on me. My mum only felt she had me to teach all the cooking skills and the cleaning skills too, and how to be the perfect housewife. Because that's what I'm meant to be. What a woman's life is in her eyes. And it's not so much a sexist thing, she just thinks that's what we want. I wanted. These days I don't even know anymore. I always looked forward to having my own place, my own peace and quiet for a little bit. Turned out that wasn't my path. My parents didn't think that was in the cards for me. I only found this all out on my 16th birthday. Massive dinner for the family. And this strange old guy I've never met. In his 40s, not really old, but old for me. About 20 years difference. And then my brothers were excused and we just sat there and my dad talked to him. She's a good girl. She cooks and cleans. My mum nodded on. And she's still got her cherry. Her virginity. All proud. And I wanted to be sick. I wished I could eat more chicken, joke at it right there and then. And I wanted to run. And I wanted to scream no. I ended up just sitting there, listening to it all happen in front of my eyes. My mum sat and said, he'd be a good match, he has money. He seems nice. My dad goes, he is nice. And the man replies, I am. That night I just cry myself to sleep, if I even get any sleep. I begged my mum next day to reconsider. I really didn't want to do it. My dad said if I didn't do it, the family would get ruined. They needed the money. So they were not only giving me away, they were selling me like a piece of property. I said, sell your car. Sell the house. They just looked at me disappointedly and said, no, it's got to be this way. And if you love us, then you'll do it. We didn't talk about it for the next week. I really didn't want to do it. The only option to me at that time was running away, becoming homeless, or marrying a rich dude. And then still being able to talk to my family. So a month later, the guy handed my dad a check. And about 2 months after that, we got married. Turned out he had been married before. This was his second time. And he has 3 teenage children, closer to age to me, which is kind of sick to think about it. And they all hate me. I don't blame them. To them, I'm the imposter. Took their mum's place. Their mum's still alive, probably happier, not being tied down. Well, I don't know. She doesn't talk to me. She came to our wedding, but just stared at him, my husband, my now husband. So I live in a big house, and my husband goes to work all day, and the kids there hate me. And it's lonely. And the food tastes bad because of course he's allergic to onion. Onion is like the only thing that makes everything taste great. And I woke up one day realising that I'm another year older in this miserable hell house. I don't get beaten or abused, and I have my own bank account and access to an allowance I get. But it's not what I want. In fact, nobody throughout my life, I don't think, has asked me really what I want. And if I was to say something, it definitely wouldn't be this. Sitting over the dinner table, a meal I've prepared, with evil eyes looking at me for stealing their mummy's place, for being about their age. Then him touching me. He's not bad. At the beginning, I really didn't like him, or the smell of his sweat. But I've gotten used to it. And that's what's really scary. And my life has become boring. And he got a vasectomy the other day, so this is my life. With him. I won't get a child who actually loves me. I have someone else's children who are practically fully grown. My age. Wonder if they're going to sell them off to someone like they did to me. Like he brought me. But no. Not them. Irony. Couldn't possibly do it to them, but I'd happily do it to you. And I'm not the bad guy for buying you. Your parents sold you. You should be happy that you're with me. Great. I started insisting on buying onions, just for me, during the day, so I can make some food that I like. Because I like onions. And I started milking the onions. It's where you rub them together so the liquid comes out. And collecting it over time. And putting it in the cream I use to do his feet, to massage his feet in. Sure enough, he got ill and died. Devastating. No one suspected a thing. Mystery. At least I think that's a general opinion, but then again, nobody talks to me. And I got everything. Because he wasn't smart enough to do a will. Or a new one. He just left it all to his wife, and I'm his wife. And that fitted fine with me. And the kids and their mum was like, you can't do this, you can't take everything, you're just a child. And of course my parents wanted me to move back to them, with my money to share with them. This will be good for our family again. And I just smiled for the first time and said no. I'm very content with how things have played out. I'm sorry he's gone, but he's gone and he left it to me, and there must be a reason for that. I know the reason is because he's not very smart. Not when it comes to personal property. Overlooks a few things. Or overlooked. And I also know that this totally makes me the evil stepmom. He killed their dad. And he's running off with all their money. But I'm 22 and really want a life. And I've been here too long already. And it's taken some of my soul away. And for that I deserve something. Then I find a little apartment. Sell the house. Change my name, of course. And I don't see any of them again. And it's a relief, but it's also really difficult because it's everything I've ever known. But I'm glad I don't know it anymore. And I'm glad that I live on my own and I can breathe. And now I need to figure out what I want in life. My own life.